It all starts now.
Hey gang, this is Nick Z from the 4019s. Welcome to Rock Talk Beaver County Edition on location. I'm here at the Beaver County Station for a big gig with Donnie Iris and the Granati Brothers. I got some special guests today here from, you may recall me posting about them. It's Jimi and Dena Miller. We're with Sidewinder originally, and now you're Hat Trick.
Yes.
Local, doing local shows here. And tell also briefly it's called
USbecause.
USbecause, right?
Yeah, here,
And
I'll give you one of those.
Yeah, and I'll post this on the website there.
Just
Thank you
Sidewinder
very
thing.
much.
You can have one of those too. And I don't have a Hat Trick.
Yeah, I'll post all that stuff on.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
So now we got to become friends online through
Yes.
Facebook, and as the band was coming back to visit and so forth, and of course Jimi has quite a history, as does Dana, with the music and various things. One thing I do with this show, and we'll get to talk about what you're currently doing. I love hearing how you got to where you are with your influences. Meaning, like, okay, so when you were little, like for instance, we'll start with Dana, for instance. When you were a little girl growing up, what music do you remember at your house that gave you the bug, to do you
want to
remember
do music?
to
Yeah.
do music, or just pique your interest?
Well, when I was in elementary school, I remember having a friend that I would hang out with all the time, and we would listen to Elton John. We knew every song, word for word, and we would just sit in the living room and listen to record albums, and on vinyl. Of course, that was the thing back then.
Oh yeah.
And I loved that. And then Boston, I loved the band Boston. And my parents were really into Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Folk.
Yeah,
folk stuff.
yeah. Barbara Streisand, my mom loved, and my mom liked the classic country. Hank Williams.
yeah.
Senior, my mom.
Oh, senior.
So that's the kind of music we listen to. And of course, my mother loved Tom Jones.
Oh yeah.
She kind of forgets that she loved Tom Jones,
Uh-huh.
but she loved Tom Jones. So that's the kind of music that I would listen to. And then as I became a teenager, I really got into. I loved Elton John still, but I really got into Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah.
That was-
yeah. So Stevie Nicks kind
Yeah,
of.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. Do you find that when did you discover that you wanted to sing, or did you had a talent? It's something that I don't know when someone determines when that happens. So do you recall when you said, "Hey"?
Well, it's funny that you said that and you're asking me this question, because Jimmy and I just had this discussion. I was watching a video on YouTube, and this woman was saying that you actually are given gifts from birth that you don't even realize that you have. And you might end up saying things or being interested in something because you just are, and when you get older, you find that that's your passion and you end up doing something with it.
Right.
And then you look back and you're like, wow, I was into that. So when I didn't know this because I was so little, but my parents used to tell me that every time we went out to dinner, when I was little, about 3 years old, I would literally go up to people at their tables and ask them, I'd say, "Hi, my name is Dina, would you mind if I sing for you?" Completely extroverted, which I am not an extrovert,
Right.
Believe it or not, even though I perform. I'm not an extrovert, I'm very introverted, but back then maybe I was.
Right.
So I never realized, that then, and then I got into, in high school, in junior high, I was into plays and chorus and things like that, so I always sang. I was interested in playing an instrument, and I kind of dabbled in that, but never as much as I had a passion for singing.
Right.
And that's what I do now. So.
Yeah. So, and then as obviously in high school, and you were singing, and then you found when you graduated, did you start performing with bands at the time, or how did the?
No, I completely got away from it. Mainly because I got married very young.
Okay.
And I started a family.
Right.
And it wasn't until my kids were teenagers that I got back into singing. I joined a church, contemporary Christian band,
Right.
excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Empty Vessels.
Okay.
and I started singing in the band, and that's actually how I met Jimmy.
That's the how you
Yes,
guys. Okay.
he was a drummer. We needed a drummer, and he auditioned.
Ah, so that's how you
Yes.
guys.
And we just
We were next door neighbors.
yeah, but I didn't know him. I really didn't
You
know
didn't
him.
know- you're right.
No, I just knew of him, and he ended up trying out for the band,
Wow,
and we just
yeah.
became really good friends, and then the rest is
And the
history,
rest
really.
is yeah.
Yeah. So as far as getting involved in bands other than the contemporary Christian band, I joined Sidewinder because that was Jimmy's band
Right.
for years, and he had kind of stepped away from it, but the band continued with one of the original members.
Sure.
And he got a call one day, and I'll let you take it from there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not the way he's conducting his interview.
No, that's good. I like we'll pick it in. We'll circle back. So then go ahead, carry on. From
Well,
where-
okay, as far as
Yeah.
them needing a drummer, I said, should I bring my kit down or what do you want me to bring down? He said, bring down whatever you want. So I took a snare drum.
I like that.
That should be enough, you know? So I took a snare drum down and they did some things and I did some stuff on the snare and they said, well, the job's yours if you want it.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, okay, I want it. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
She's kind of cute. So
Yeah.
man.
So you guys had it. Yeah, there you go.
I was married at the time, but the marriage was kind of
Oh,
old
yeah.
now, so, but anyway, yeah, that's how we got started. And then this person that was in our band said, "Hey Jimmy, we need a drummer for Sidewinder. Would you be interested in coming back?"
Right.
And I had a falling out with one of the people in the band, and I said, "Well, is he still there?" Because we used to butt heads
Oh, yeah.
constantly. And he said, "Nah, he's gone. Otherwise, I wouldn't even ask you." I said, "Okay." I said, "Then I'll come back." So
Yeah.
then I went back and I said, "But you got to have Dena come in and sing
Uh-huh.
because she's an amazing singer."
Kind of like the Fleetwood Mac thing, right? Isn't that with Lindsey Buckingham?
guess so,
There you go.
yes, it's
Yes,
true.
yes.
Yeah.
Buckingham Nicks.
See, yeah. There
That's a
you go.
great album.
Okay, so then, and so once the band solidified in that lineup, tell me a little about in those days. How many sets were you guys doing?
Basically, it was a standard 3 sets, 4-hour gig.
Right.
We would play from 10 to 2
Yeah.
back in those days.
Uh-huh.
Now it's not quite like that. I try to get 3-hour jobs,
Right.
either 9 to 12 or 8 to 11, because after a while we found out people started heading south like around 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Especially on Saturday nights. I don't know if it was to get up for church the next day or they wanted to go home and make love. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, 11 o'clock, man, boom.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It depending on the night of the week and the band, the audience leaves. But you're right. It's better to finish the night early because it gives them time to get home. If they're depends the crowd, right? If
Sure.
they're an older crowd, they got to get back to their babysitters and stuff. There's a lot to figure out. Yeah.
And we would always stay, if the crowd stays, hey, we'll stay another
Sure.
hour, throw us a couple of bucks or whatever,
Right.
that way. My philosophy was, if the bar makes money, they're going to be happy with the band. They're going to have us back. That's always been my philosophy.
Right.
There have been times, and I know I probably shouldn't have done this, but there have been times when I actually gave the bar owners money back because we didn't have a good night.
Sure. Yeah.
I would pay my players,
Yeah.
and I would take maybe half of my salary, half of my cut, or whatever,
Of course, yeah.
and I wouldn't even tell anybody. I would just do it,
Yeah.
And they
That's good.
appreciated that. They always had us back.
Yeah, because the club assumes the risk, obviously, right? When they get
Sure.
that's the thing. So now we'll come back to the current.
Now
day,
we're not
what's
big
going
time
on.
like you guys.
No.
though. I mean, we're talking like small time stuff here. As far as like animal houses, like the Owls Club, the Eagles, the
Yeah.
Moose Clubs,
Yeah.
things like that. And
That's
some of the bars.
That's awesome.
So we're not talking about touring the world like the 49teens. Maybe one day we'll be on that level.
I always find it fascinating that so now when you were a youngster growing up, what were your recollections that got you to want to drum and what was the spark that got you? Do you remember?
I do remember. I remember quite clearly, actually. It wasn't necessarily the music that was in the house. My folks did listen to the 49teens back then. It was before they started recording. And they were still,
early days.
Yeah, early days. Very early days, yes. But they would listen to things like Dean Martin and the Barbra Streisands, Petula Clark, things of that
Sure.
nature. But the thing that sparked me was a friend of mine, a very good friend. We were like brothers. His name's Tommy Hellman, and he plays saxophone. And so I wanted to get into the band. I was in 6th grade. I wanted to get into the band and do something. They didn't really have anything except drums available, and I dug the drums anyway.
Sure.
So my parents were like, I am not buying you a drum set. You will drive me crazy. There's no way.
No way.
No way that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So they bought me a little pad for like $3.95 and a pair of sticks,
Yeah.
and that was my beginning right there.
Oh wow, yeah, and then you discovered, hey, I'm progressing at this.
Yes.
And you go from what, a snare eventually to maybe a small.
Actually, what
Yeah.
happened was my parents saw that I was like staying with it.
Yeah,
They waited about a year,
Right.
and then they went down and they bought me a drum set at Silver's music store.
Downtown here.
Downtown,
yeah, was
Franklin
it
Avenue.
Yeah, Franklin in Aliquippa, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he had a couple locations.
And I got a set that belonged to Harry and the Apes.
Oh yeah.
Now, originally, it's just looking on the set, and it was covered with hair. And the drummer would jump up on the bass drum and throw bananas into the crowd. You know, that was
love
their
this
shtick,
story.
man.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
really
Harry and the Apes,
Yeah.
yeah, true
Yeah,
story,
Harry
true
and the
story.
Apes, yeah.
But anyway, he refinished the drums, and I got that kit, you know, they got it on payments.
Oh yeah,
And
of course.
that's basically, I still have that set.
Oh, you do?
I still do.
Doggone, that's
I'm thinking
cool.
about covering it with fur.
Fur, dude.
And-
Yeah. Relive, yeah. It's
Relive
a
those
special
days.
night for
Yeah.
Harry and the
Harry
Apes.
and the
Yeah.
Apes.
And then, of course, you on Facebook, I've learned a lot about you. You posted, you discovered you had a bunch of your old kit. You keep all your kits,
Oh,
correct?
Yes, yes.
And so that's really cool that you have all those things. And then, well, I want to touch upon the Palm
Okay.
stuff as well. But so now we know it's cool that I got to see how you guys formulate what gets you to where you are. You know, to me, it's fascinating. And so when now currently with the band, I know you just played at Mario's. I saw you posted. You're
Yes.
always posting live Facebook, Instagram. So I'll
Yeah.
post everywhere you can find the band, and you look out for their live broadcast before the show and stuff. So currently now you have a new guitar. You have a new axe player, right?
Oh, you do your homework, don't you?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here.
That's right. Yeah.
But you have your bassist is Ray.
Ray Fernandez.
Ray Fernandez, and now
Yes.
tell us a little about your new guitar player.
Randy, what are you talking about, Randy? You haven't talked in a while.
Oh. Well, you probably know more about Randy than I do, but
Randy Catalona is his name. He's been in many, many bands.
Uh-huh.
Seasoned guitar
Seasoned
player.
guy, yeah.
very, very
Oh
good.
my goodness, he fits his band like a glove.
I
And
could-
then we got Gritty back too.
Yeah. I
Gritty
saw
was
you
in-
had another.
Yeah, so now we have Gritty plays acoustic, Randy plays acoustic, harmonica, and electric, but he mainly plays electric on stage. Gritty also plays harmonica.
Oh, good.
Ray plays bass. Randy sings. Ray sings. Gritty sings, and Dena, of course.
Yeah,
is our lead
everybody
vocalist.
joins in the vocals to give it a nice.
They won't give me a microphone.
Yeah, I'd say drummers. What can we do?
They
Right?
said, don't give him. He'll be talking about traffic, and don't give him.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a backup singer anyway. I back up as far away from the mic as possible when I sing.
Yeah. So, and then also briefly, if you get, now that you mentioned that the microphone, you were tell us a little about WDBE and what you've done there. So you've worked a lot on this radio, which and the guy that doesn't have the microphone, I have enough of that. I'm just gonna let you guys. So.
The guy that doesn't have the microphone.
Yeah.
Right. I started in radio in 73.
73,
73, and most of my career was at Y108, a country station.
Okay.
And I was there off and on for I think 37 years. And right now I've kind of taken a step back. I'm just doing traffic reports now with Total Traffic and Weather Network. And basically what I do is traffic reports for all the iHeart stations, which here in Pittsburgh is WDVE, KISS, The X, 104.7. I also do WJAS and ESPN. So I do traffic reports for those stations.
That's fantastic. And then, well, I just noticed here that the festivities are starting. I just want to touch upon at Palm, the Performing Arts Legends Museum.
Very good, yes.
And it's in Ambridge. It's relative. It's within the last couple of months, and they've been honored. recognized for their work with not Sidewinder,
With Sidewinder.
with
With
Sidewinder,
Sidewinder.
which is wonderful. LB, and I'll tell you where you can locate the information, their Facebook page, where to find that. LB's gonna have some having live bands. You guys have played, or you're going to play?
We're going to play.
And what date is that?
September 5th.
I believe
I'll
so.
I'll
I
post.
believe it's September. It's a Sunday, September 5th, 2 to 4. Come on, even if you're in California, make
Yeah.
arrangements now. Come
Coming
on
out.
out and check out the Hat Trick Band.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just wanted to take a little time. I know the festivities are starting up, so they can enjoy their night. But I wanted to thank them for sitting with me and chatting it up, and my rock talk crowd out there. I want to thank both of you for hanging out with me for a little.
Oh, our pleasure. Are you kidding me? We could do this for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
Got lots
wonderful.
of things to talk about.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll do a part 2.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you again. This is
And Carl.
Jimi and Dena Miller. Thank you
Yes.
very much, everybody. We got our buddy here, Calvin, on
Cal,
the.
Yep, yep.
yeah, we'll see.
Calvin,
Right.
from all you remember him from Dr. Doyle's.
Dr. Doyle's, oh, yeah, he's a legend in his area.
Yep, that's what I hear.
Yes.
That's what people
That's
tell
what
me.
he hears.
Indeed.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You good?
Thank
Hey,
you.
you good? Hey.
Peace.
Awesome.
That was.
Yeah.